Welcome back to another edition of Serving the Cedar Valley. I'm your host, Eric Braley, and on this show, we interview different service organizations in our community. We find out what makes them unique. We find out why their members enjoy going to meetings and networking and socializing, and talk about all the amazing things that they do for our community right here in Cedar Falls. So, joining me today are the Kiwanis Rough Risers, and you do a lot. And if we just want to go down the row and introduce yourself, Lee, we'll start with you since you have been involved with the club the longest tenure. Just talk about how long you've been involved and what you really enjoy about the Cedar Falls Kiwanis Rough Risers.
My name is Lee Zeitz. I'm a professor of instructional technology at the University of Northern Iowa. In instructional technology, we teach teachers to use technology to support learning. And I used to be down at Price Laboratory School, and when I was down there, Dean Primrose came to me after about the first or second month of being here back in 1992. And he said, you know, I'm in this club. You might enjoy it. And so I came, and it was a very service-oriented group. We'd have breakfast every morning at 6:30. That's why they call us the Rough Risers. Mm-hmm. And it's been something where we're really making a difference in the community. And I think that's the important thing, is that we serve people and they make the world better. 23
years, that's a long time. How has the group evolved over the past couple of decades in your eyes?
We've gotten older.
Okay. Most people do over 23 years.
It's evolved. I think. I don't know. It's evolved in that I think we're working more with the community. I mean, we've always built a lot of things because we have a lot of builders there. In fact, our motto used to be "We build," but we've gotten more community and child-oriented. I think we started something where we have sponsors, business sponsors throughout the community, who are helping us help the rest of the community. It's a wide variety of things that are happening, and it's a great group.
And you can see on the screen there some pictures and video over the years of projects that the Kiwanis Rough Risers have physically built and contributed money to. Talk about why you have been a member. How long have you been a member? Why you decided to join?
Okay, I'm Tony Reed. I have been a member for 5 years. I had been principal at Hanson Elementary School for 15 years, and when I retired, I had a little bit more time on my hands. And I had visited the Rough Risers before and really enjoyed the group. It's a fun group. They do, as Lee said, a lot of things, but we enjoy each other, really, I should say. And as he said, their mission is serving the children of the Cedar Valley. So to me, that seemed like a perfect extension of what I've been trying to do all my life. And we get out and volunteer a lot with the food bank and Love Incorporated and various other things, planting trees, building shelters. So it's not just sitting there and listening to programs and then going home.
Sure. Well, you talk about serving the children of the Cedar Valley. Why is that something that you're just so passionate about, and why it's easy to work maybe some long hours making the popcorn to sell and building these projects to help the next generation?
One of the things we do that everybody loves, we have a project that we do jointly with the JCs, and it's called Gift of Giving. And so they provide money for, varies from year to year, 75 kids, 90 kids that they've identified, and we take them shopping. So Blaine's is nice enough to open up their store early on a Saturday morning, and 100 or so volunteers go out with these 90 or so kids, and they go shopping for their family members. So it's a little lesson. It's a little lesson on budgeting your 40 bucks.
Which is important to learn early on.
Right. And making priority choices, and you're not picking out gifts for yourself, you're picking out gifts for your family. And it's just great fun. And then we bring them all back and feed them breakfast. So that's one of the favorite events everybody has.
Well, 2 for 2 on educators. Are we 3 for 3?
Yes. My name is Jane Harding, and I was a school counselor in Cedar Falls. I was at North Cedar for 15 years and have taught 33, and when I retired, I'm now a manager at Curves for Women. And I got involved with Kiwanis through my husband. Steve was a member, and I started helping with the projects and really got to know the members But 6:30 in the morning was kind of hard for me to pull with a family. When my youngest was able to drive to school, that's when I joined Kiwanis. So, but I would still call her, "Are you up?" You know, making
Yep.
sure she had gotten up and was ready to go. But it is a great group. We meet every Wednesday at 6:30 and have a nice breakfast, a nice meeting, and then learn information about the community. But as they've both mentioned, it's the service that we can provide to the community that's very meaningful. And that's why I'm passionate about it, is because I care about kids, and as a counselor I have a real heart for children, and so that's another reason why I got involved.
Well, and Lee, I know that we're always working on growing each of these service organizations, and one of the ways that you can help children and help out in the community is having more members. And you know, Jane came along because her husband was a member. Why is that important to continue to get more and more people? And we're hoping some of the viewers watching this show that saw the graphic, okay, they meet at the Clarion Inn Hotel Wednesdays at 6:30 a.m. So why is that something that is a constant mission? And what would you say? Are you looking for a certain type of individual to join your group?
We want somebody who wants to make a difference. You know, I mean, the thing, I'm certain everybody in the world would want to get up at 6 o'clock so you come and have breakfast at 6:30. But no, we want somebody who wants to make a difference. I mean, whether they're 26 years old or whether they're 66 years old, it's okay, because we go out there and there's a lot of things we're doing in the community to make it a better place. And so it's important for us to expand what we're doing. In fact, we even have a satellite program that we set up.
Really? Tell me a little about that.
The satellite program is something we set up because we had some people who couldn't make it to the 6:30 meetings. And you know, maybe they've got kids, like what Jane was saying. If they have kids, you know, that's number one. But what they still wanted to be part of an organization where they would be out and they'd be selling kettle corn, and they'd be part of the service group, they'd be part of our communication system. You know, we've got a website and all these sorts of things. And on a weekly basis, they would receive the minutes and the things that we'd be talking about, you know, and so they'd be part of the group. And I think it's only about $10 a month or something like that. But what we did is we decided that this was another way in which we could connect people. And in some cases, they've joined and thought, well, 6:30 is not so bad. Yeah. But in other cases, they've just stayed that way because that's what they had to do.
Outstanding. Well, let's take a look at some of the many different projects that you have financially contributed to. And I'll just read through a list as we have some graphics on the screen that talks about, you know, Kiwanis and the Rough Risers supporting these programs. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the Blue Zones Project in Iowa, the Boy Scouts of America, Cedar Falls High School Scholarship Program, the Cedar Falls Recreation Programs, the Cedar Valley Preschool, Circle K, Kiwanis at the University of Northern Iowa, and then Family Children Council, the Gift of Giving, Girl Scouts of America, Grin and Grow Daycare, Habitat for Humanity, Hawkeye Community College Scholarships, and Kiwanis Eliminate Program. The list goes on and on. Kiwanis International Skip-A-Meal, Northeast Iowa Food Bank, Northeast Iowa Kiwanis Foundation, Quakerdale, Salvation Army, Special Olympics, UNI Wheelchair Sports Camps. So I'm a little out of breath reading through all that. That is a lot. And why is it important to really spread the money that you have raised through Kettle Corn, which we'll talk about later on in the show, to help as many different organizations? And reading through that list, I mean, children are involved in each and every one of those.
Yeah. It's 26 local organizations, 3 international organizations that we give to. About 22,000, a little over 22,000 we have in this year's budget.
Okay.
Plus, you didn't have on that list, we go to each of the 6 elementary schools in Cedar Falls and we pop kettle corn from them and just say, here's your kettle corn, you sell it. And so that amounts to about an extra $700 per school. Plus we built, on average, we build about 1 shelter a year at the soccer complex. Out of our own pockets, we give money to Project Eliminate. It comes up to about $35,000, a little over $35,000 this year.
For 38 members.
Yeah, for 38 members.
38 members doing an outstanding job of building, donating money, and donating your time. We're just getting started. We're going to take a break, and in this break, we're going to watch a 2-minute promotional video talking about Kiwanis and what they're doing in communities like Cedar Falls and across the state of Iowa and across the United States. Back with more with the Cedar Falls Kiwanis Rough Risers right after this.
I am Kiwanis. I believe in people. I care about service. I seek out connection. I matter to my community because my community matters to me. I reach out to others. I reach inside myself because I am Kiwanis. I know a good cause when I see one. I know a kindred spirit when I meet one. I know the impact we make together when our need to help meets our willingness to act. I am Kiwanis. I take notice. I take pride. I take action. I take the opportunity to make a real difference in the life of a child, in the life of my town, in the part of myself that grows stronger by working and serving with others. I'm here. I'm inspired. I am Kiwanis.
Nice promotional video there talking about Kiwanis International. And again, joining us here are 3 members from the Rough Risers, and called the Rough Risers because you get up early on Wednesdays to meet. Talk about where you meet, why that's a nice venue for gathering, having speakers, and doing a nice formal meeting together.
Sure. We meet at the Clarion on Wednesday mornings at 6:30. They have nice meeting space. They provide a wonderful buffet breakfast for us, which is nice in case a member comes in a little late. They can go through the buffet and join us. We have a business meeting the first Wednesday of the month where we get into our committees and organize and plan for what's going on, and then the other meetings are all based on the community and having speakers come in to share with us. But the Clarion has been our meeting spot for close to 20 years. They also provide visual projections so we can project anything on the walls if a speaker requires that.
We'll talk about the speakers in a second. Tony, they talk about committees. Is there like a building committee, or what are some examples? Because if someone's watching the show and says, I want to be a part of the club, what are a couple of committees that maybe they could join to be a part of?
Well, if they want to be a part of the club, you want to go to Lee's website and,
okay.
and check
Our
it out.
website.
Yeah. Well, he's the guru there.
Sure.
But yeah, the committees, we have one that focuses on the kettle corn and the fundraising, another on publicity, another on membership, another on internal relations. Is that the correct name of it?
Yes.
Am I missing one?
But then you meet as a whole group, but then can break off and accomplish things.
Community
as well.
relations is another.
Wonderful. And then speakers. Why is that important to bring people from the community in to maybe talk about their organization or different things?
Well, what's really important is that it isn't just a breakfast club. It's one where what we're doing is we're trying to learn more about the community that we serve. Mm-hmm. And it goes even beyond that. I mean, we had Melissa Tierney from New Aldea Life Skates came in and spoke with us. We had John Robertson from Waterloo Center for the Arts, Dr. Stephen Taft. This was interesting, and that was we had a social that we were going to go down, and we were going to see the storybook Christmas Story, which was down on Main Street there. And so what we did is we invited the director and author of it in to talk to us about it. We also have people from the Gallagher Blue Dorn come in and talk to us about what is going to be coming. We have students that come in. You want to say something about that one, Jay?
Sure. We had some students from Pete Junior High come with their counselors, and they're in an anti-bully club, and they shared about forming that club. We've had kids come from North Cedar and other schools that talk about the Leader in Me program that's based on Covey's 7 Habits, because we're about kids, and so it's nice to bring kids in and share with us. We've had groups come in and perform. Tony and I are part of Bel Canto Cedar Valley, and Tony's daughter's the director, and she came and promoted she came in and promoted our chorale, and a number of the members performed for the club. So we have a whole variety of programs that keep us informed of what's happening in the community as well as needs that are out there that we can help support as well.
I might point out that we go beyond the community as well, and that is through the wonderful world of technology. One time we had the Nebraska, Iowa, Kiwanis District Governor Ron Pesch. He actually broadcasted to us through Skype. We had another situation where we actually initiated a new member who was stationed. His name is Captain Mark Bromwich, and he was stationed in Afghanistan. And through Skype, we initiated him into our club. And then finally, I don't know if have you heard of Second Life?
I have not.
It is a virtual world.
Okay.
And so I met somebody in Second Life in a virtual world, and she goes by the name of Think a Little. And she is the director of the Cooperative Extension in New York, and they're actually using this virtual world to teach about agriculture and 4-H and things like that. And so she joined us one time through, actually her avatar joined us through this virtual world, and she took us on a tour of the things that she does with farmers and with people who are interested in agriculture. So we have a wide variety of programs.
It sounds like it, and you get the buffet breakfast, you get the networking, socializing time, educational, informative, entertaining programs.
And a lot of the people who come in are from the organizations that we give to, so we can know about that organization, such as Quakerdale, Chuck Grove from the Boys and Girls Club, Girl Scouts, Hawkeye Community College. We give a scholarship there every year.
And it's good to see where your money's going to and supporting a great cause.
Another speaker that came in, Kathy Burns from DHS, came in and talked about how children grow out of the foster care program. And we thought, how can we support those kids? So combined with the UNI Club, the Circle K Club, we came up with funds to provide care packages for kids that are in college for finals, because a lot of times parents provide that, but these kids are out of the foster care system now. So it was a nice collaborative mission with the Circle K Club to provide those kind of things for those kids.
And it's great living in a university town to have the college students that might be able to help out with some projects as well. So
absolutely.
Helping out with that. I do want to touch on the international program with Kiwanis and several different causes that really working to support. As you can see, some video and pictures looking at the history of Kiwanis. But who wants to talk about Kiwanis International Drive to eliminate neonatal tetanus throughout the world?
Neonatal tetanus is something I hadn't heard about. I don't suppose most of us had, but it kills, I understand, about 5,000 women a year, and of course their children are affected as well. But it's one of these things that's fairly easily preventable with what, a little over $1 can cure one woman. And so Project Kiwanis International has taken on this as like a 5-year project, raising several $1 million. And our club has donated out of our own pockets over $9,000 a year in this time period, because it really makes you feel like you're part of something important worldwide.
And that's what's amazing, is you're not only helping make your local community better, but you're making the United States and on a global scale have an impact. We'll be back to talk about Kettle Corn, your sponsors that help make this possible. But first, here's another promotional video talking about Kiwanis International and the programs that they support. Welcome back to Serving the Valley. Today we're focusing on Kiwanis and the Rough Risers, an organization that's been around and doing some amazing things here in Cedar Falls for a long time. And you just saw that video there spotlighting women, and that's very important. The fact that it's not just men, it's women, it's people of all ages. And Jane, you shared your story, why you are so passionate about being involved and why that's important that everyone is involved in this organization.
Well, certainly, and we are women and men in our organization, and I don't see it. When I go in, I don't see it like that. We're just a group of people that are passionate about kids and not just in the Cedar Valley, but in the world. And Kiwanis International, the incoming president is a woman, and the incoming vice president is from our area. In fact, she lived in Iowa for many years and is very passionate about Kiwanis and has been a member for a number of years. So it is not just for men, it's for women as well.
And again, always looking to grow your service organization and get people of all ages involved with it. One thing I definitely want to learn more about is the kettle corn. It's been something that your Cedar Falls chapter has been doing for quite some time. We have some video of the making of the kettle corn. If you've had a bag, you know it is absolutely delicious. Why did it start? Why does it taste so good? Why should people buy a bag and support the Rough Risers by buying your kettle corn? Tony?
Something like 8 or 10 years ago, this is before my time, we got into selling kettle corn, and it is very good, it's very addictive, and it's really meant that our fundraising has gone up a lot. And so, as I said, we can raise like $20-something thousand a year from the kettle corn, plus another $14,000-15,000 from our sponsors. It enables us to do a lot.
And there's a list of some of your sponsors and the kettle corn itself. Sponsors, huge for what you do as far as financially giving to all of these different projects in the Cedar Falls, Waterloo area.
Right.
And as you can see, some of those sponsors, if you are watching this show, if you work for an organization, and just definitely contact the Rough Risers to let them know, hey, take donations of all different types to support these
What you're seeing
projects.
there, that graphic, was a large gum label that we put on every single bag of kettle corn. So we say to our sponsors, you know, this is kind of advertising for you. We want to promote you because you're helping us a lot. And we have two big signs out there that lists all our sponsors. And so we just want people to support them, because when they buy kettle corn from us, then they're helping us do the work of supporting the kids in the Cedar Valley.
And you're really busy. I mean, I see you out at Sturgis Falls. I see you at multiple events, going to each of the elementaries and popping for them. It's a social event and letting the community know that you're here as well.
We're doing the College Hill Art Show this coming weekend.
Sure.
And then after that is Sturgis Falls. And that's a great place to come get it. You know, you can only get it so many times during the year.
Log on to the website to find out when and where you'll be popping the kettle corn. Well, and it's something too that, you know, in our final couple of minutes here, when you look at the actual projects that you physically go out and do, we've talked about the financial contributions, but talk about the social part of going out and physically building a shelter or planting a tree or doing different things. And Jane, why is it fun to roll up your sleeves and go to work with these fellow Rough Risers?
Well, there's a lot of fun benefits just from working together and doing those kind of projects. Marv Heller is a winemaker, and he's one of our members, and he brings wine to the party all the time.
Wine and kettle corn.
Wine and
That's
kettle
pretty
corn.
neat.
Oh, and I'm not a great builder, but a lot of times I'll bake or provide food for the workers, and just to come out and support what they're doing, and knowing how the community benefits. The people at the soccer complex are so happy to have the shelters there. We've built shelters for a number of groups. The North Cedar Park there, we built that shelter for them. And we had a gathering. We did that jointly with the Lions Club. The Lions Club provided the money, and we provided the manpower for the building, and had a joint gathering to commemorate the building of the shelter when it was completed.
So you support many organizations that assist children. You physically can see the work of the Kiwanis Rough Risers throughout our community, and they are looking for members. They are looking for sponsors to help them grow. In the last couple of minutes, maybe Lee, talk about why you're so excited for the future of the Rough Risers and why you think that 5, 10, 20 years from now, still doing great things in our community.
As I said, the people that come to our crew are really people who want to make a difference. And as the interesting thing is, a lot of them are educators. We have a lot of educators there. That's why we started at 6:30, so we get to school later on. Sure. But I really see a great future because we're seeing that we're communicating with more people, we're connecting with more, we're making a bigger difference. We are the busiest service organization in Cedar Valley, and I see that it's going to continue and build in the future.
Tony?
And I should say, it's not just educators. Maybe a third of us are, but there's pastors, there's business people, insurance salespeople, farmers, realtors. Yeah, there's people with Iowa Extension Service, Iowa State Extension. Just about everything that you can think of, and we're glad to have, it's good to get to know a wide variety of people.
Jane, final thoughts on why this is such a great thing for you personally and for Cedar Falls?
Well, for me personally, I'm just getting to know this great group of people that care so much, and that we're really working towards helping kids. That's where our heart is, and our passion is helping kids. And I see Kiwanis doing that very generously, very selflessly, and that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Well, I thank you very much as a member of this great community for all that you're doing, whether it's giving money or giving of your time and talents, and enjoy the kettle corn, and as well as again, if you buy a bag of kettle corn, you are also assisting it. So contact them. You got a great website. All the information is there. Show up at a meeting. They are looking to grow and continue to do some awesome projects for the children of Cedar Falls. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep up the great work.
Yeah, thank you.
Eric.
Thank you, and that will do it for this edition of Serving the Valley as we put the focus on the Cedar Falls Kiwanis Club, the Rough Risers. Log on to their website for more information. We'll see you next time on Serving the Valley.